Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Eeze, top of the morning. You know we out here working and walking, routine. What we talking about today? Today we're gonna continue yesterday's discussion for maybe about 1 or 2 minutes. Then I got some other things I want to speak about, and hopefully you engage in the comments. First off, there seems to be some individuals who think that my content is going to ruin the Nas and DJ Premier project. We're not doing that. This is my thoughts, my views in a very mature fashion. I'm just speaking what I feel, and it's positive too. They can take a lot from this. But even if they don't, that has nothing to do with the outcome of an album. They got to get in that studio and work out the wrinkles and the kinks and figure out the direction where they're going. Because if you don't like the content or what I'm saying, the content derives from lackluster music as of late. If the music was fire, we wouldn't be having this discussion, right? So we got to get away from trying to move the goalposts or feel as though we have to blame someone or try to get ahead of it just in case it doesn't work out in your favor. No. If SGA has a bad game, is it his fault or we're blaming Mike Breen for being the announcer? You figure it out. But at the end of the day, I buy music. I listen to it. I spend time with it. I love it. And when I hear something I'm not really pleased with or I feel as though it could be better, I'm going to speak up about it. And so should you. There's a big difference between being a fan and supporter and, crossing over that line of being a cult member. Cult members don't speak out about anything. You just accept what's given to you and everything is law and right. No. If I don't like something, I'm gonna state it in a very mature fashion. So that's just my take on that. Secondly, seems to be some individuals when we speak about DJ Premier, where they have like this, they make him a mythical figure, right? I love Primo. Let's start there. Not many talk about his accomplishments quite like I do. Look at that. All this content, going back almost three and a half years. That's before any of the recent content. So miss me with all the nonsense. I just want to see him do better. Now getting back to my point. This whole thing like, yo, Primo, he tailored his beats for the artist. That's why the Rock Marciano joint sound like that. Let's be honest. Some of you just be regurgitating the same old nonsense. I've never heard anyone say Primo tailors a beat. I've read articles and heard him state that he makes beats on the spot. There's a difference. Hear me out. Tailoring a beat requires adjustments, modifications based upon that artist. Right? Making a beat on the spot means that I'm gonna create my sound, keep it going, but I'm just gonna make the beat when you arrive in the studio. It's a major difference. Hear me out again. Modifications, alterations, changes based on the artist's cadence, flows, album direction, things of that nature is tailoring for an artist, right? Making a beat on the spot is self-explanatory. You come to the studio, I don't have any pre-made beats. I go through the vinyl, hop on a keyboard, guitar, bass, whatever it is, and I create a beat on the spot. Doesn't necessarily mean it's tailored to your skill set. I just made a beat on the spot. Perfect example. There's not much difference between Group Home, Living Proof, or let's say Moment of Truth album. As far as production goes, that's quintessential DJ Premier. The beats were probably made on the spot, but you can have Guru spit on every Living Proof beat, or even have Nas spit on those same beats, because it's Primo. It wasn't tailored to any specific artist. It was made on the spot. And I know someone is going to say, well, Nas is like, he got his name in there. And check it out. Most of the time, those scratches or choruses are done after the beat is completed. Not after the song is completed, after the beat is completed. So that's not tailoring. That's making the beat on the spot and then scratching the hook in there as well. So you make the beat, chop samples, get the core of what it's gonna be, and then what? Work on the hook, find the scratches that you like, and then you present the beat to the artist. Because even if you look at other music, it's rare that someone starts a song with the B section. Hip hop, yes, we start hooks first, written hooks, like 50 may come up with a hook, and then they write the verses around that. But to say that those beats are tailored for the artist isn't necessarily true. He's just making the beats on the spot. It's a big difference. The approach is typically the same. You can go back and listen to most of the music. Primo has a distinct sound, and it doesn't really vary from artist to artist. Now we're going back to his heyday in a sense. Same thing for today too. It may not, the music is not as great as it once was, but it's not much variation where you can say, oh, that's a Nas beat, or that's a such and such beat. Let's just use Define My Name. Was that really a Nas beat, tailored for Nas? I don't think so. Because the same approach was used for Rock Markable. Just scratch the person's name in there or their voice. As a matter of fact, Nas's vocals are used on The Coldest Profession in the hook. So we're gonna say that beat was tailored for Nas? No, it was a beat probably made on the spot, and the artist selected it, or sometimes when the beat is done, when they need a chorus, because that's his signature, right? One of his signatures, he scratches a hook in there. I think I said the same thing quite a few different ways, but that's the major difference. So the whole myth or trying to add different attributes or to one up the next producer, I've heard and read articles where he said he's made the beats on the spot. Lastly, on this beautiful morning, I just want to take the time to say there's a lesson in everything, and we can all learn from the maturity, the patience, and the approach of Shedeur Sanders. A lot of naysayers, a lot of detractors, a lot of individuals who create narratives and say what they want without any evidence and continue to compound it. But when it's your season, it's your season. And that's real rap. It's going to be some individuals who still won't give credit, but to be put in the fire, the draft day, to have your own organization, members, kind of throw grease on your name in the sense of with regards to whose decision it was to draft you, to not really get any reps with the first team. And you come out in the first preseason game, 2 touchdowns, 14 for 23. Was it perfect? No. But he showcased he was an NFL quarterback and much better than a 5th round draft pick. So let's get back to the original point. Be patient. Anything in this life you can achieve through patience, sheer hard work. God is the greatest, and never lose your disposition. Let folks chat. Get that work done. You heard? I appreciate y'all, and I believe in you. It's your man Eeze at the Eeze Experience. Go get yours. Yeah.
Hey, yo, Eeze.